I've been doing comedy for about 30 years or something like that. It's been a long time. All right. Shouldn't take that long to get good at it. Shouldn't take that long. It's really a simple thing. You talk to people. I should have figured it out right away. But it took me a long time, and I used to hate it. I really did. First few years, I hated it because I bombed almost every show. And I remember when I started, I was like, I want to make people laugh. And for a good 5 years, I didn't make one person laugh. And I realized now I don't make people laugh because I'm a comedian. I used to make people laugh. I worked at a garage, and I used to make people laugh. And it was just a plus. It was just, hey, that guy at the garage, he's funny. But if the guy at the garage isn't funny, you don't go, that guy, what a piece of shit. He wasn't funny. I've been doing this a long time. I've traveled all over the country. I remember one time I worked at this club in North Carolina. I don't remember what town. It was called like, North Carolina. I don't know. North Carolina. I'm going down. Down my daddy. It's actually in South Carolina. Anyway, I'm in North Carolina, and I'm working at this club. I don't remember what it's called. It was called something like you're going to kill yourself in a week. And the owner of the club comes up to me, and he says, "So, what's your shots policy?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "What's your shots policy?" I was like, this doesn't help. I need sentences. So he says, well, sometimes when a guy's on stage and the audience likes him, they want to send a shot up there and have him drink it. And everybody goes, woo! He goes, now, you want me to send you a shot of real booze or like a shot with something else in it so you don't, have to drink the booze? And I said, yeah, you know what? Don't send anything. And he goes, well, what do I say to them if they want to send you a shot? I said, tell them, no, you may not. No, you mayn't interrupt the show by sending a glass of something to the guy. And he's like, well, they're going to be upset. I was like, okay, let them feel that way. What kind of entitled people are these? If you go to a football game, you're like, send the quarterback a banjo. Like to see him play banjo right about now. North Carolina.
Gross, and I hate it.
Because it makes you insecure, right? When people start being negative. Was there a lot of negativity on there?
I mean, I don't know, about equal.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated to read something really hateful about me.
Are you, or does it affect you?
It doesn't. I don't know who that is. And also, if you look at their timeline, 10 seconds later they said something awful about somebody. They didn't even think about it. The thing about Twitter is because you're the only one sifting through your tweets about you.
Yeah.
And you think someone's sitting there thinking about you,
yes.
But they just fired it off and moved on.
I see. And then they go to someone else and attack them.
I have a public email that I check every 6 months or so, like checking the water in a reservoir. I barely ever check it.
Right.
But I always find a few hateful emails.
Right.
Like, really, just you are a piece of kill yourself. They always ask you to kill yourself. People don't like
and you've
it.
never done that? You've never killed yourself as a result
not
of getting those emails?
of that, but once in a while I'll write one of those guys back just to see what happens.
But doesn't that encourage them?
Here's what always happens. 100% of the time, people that write something negative, I write back and I say, it's a shame you feel that way, and I wish you the best today.
You kill them with kindness.
Yes, and then they always write back 100% of the time, and they say, I didn't mean it. I had a hard day, and I never would have said it if I knew you were going to read it.
I still think the best television show would be to have celebrities go to the person's house and confront the who said that about them, and that'd be great. They would just be like, there'd be a whole.
Well, nobody means it. All this negative. I mean, the whole
why do they
internet conversation, they don't, because it just feels good in the moment. It's a drug. They get a dopamine hit from.
In other words, sitting and wrecking you would make them feel better.
A little, for a second.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm watching The Wizard of Oz with my daughters. Is that enough of a palate cleanser? All right. I'm watching The Wizard of Oz. I don't know if you've seen it. It's about a little girl named Dorothy. A very sweet little girl, played by an alcoholic older lady who lives in Kansas. She has a dog. She's very upset. And she keeps telling, my dog. And everybody's like, this is a farm. We're working. Leave us alone. And then there's a tornado, and they all run inside, and they barely look for her. It's unbelievable. It was so upsetting to me when I was a kid to see this movie. Because Auntie Anne's like, Dorothy! Okay, it. And she just goes right inside, bolts the door. Unbelievable. So Dorothy goes up to Oz. So here's the thing. I was watching the other night, and there's this one moment that really stunned me. It's when Ray Bolger played the Scarecrow. He just got ripped apart by flying monkeys. And he's very upset. And he has this performance that's way over the top, even for this movie. Do you remember that moment the Tin Man comes over? What happened? And he's like, well, first they tore my arms off, and they threw them over there. And then they tore my legs off, and they threw them over there. And I've seen this movie 1,000 times. But for some reason this time, that moment made me go, whoa, that was a lot. And I started to wonder if Victor Fleming, the guy who directed The Wizard of Oz, if he had a moment during the filming of the movie where he was like, I think I gotta have a word with Ray. Because that's getting to be a lot. All right, let him do another one. Okay, action. What happened? Well, first they tore my arms off, and they threw them over there. And then they tore my legs off, and they threw them over there. Okay, cut. Comes over. So listen, Ray. Yes? Nah, you're fine.
I saw Seinfeld just looking over at you more and more, thinking, this guy's good.
Well, Jerry, he used to kind of haze me a lot because we knew each other when I was
Why do you
fucking
keep
18.
writing new material?
Why do you keep getting bigger
the same hour?
when I'm sort of the same as I was before?
Have you ever noticed socks? I want my feet not to have shoes, but I need something between me and the floor.
But I have enormous awe, respect for Jerry and Chris and you. I mean, when I saw The Office, I wouldn't have said it. You think I felt like I had to? I would have loved if I didn't feel it inside.
Then you would have seen how those things hurt.
How fun that would have been to say I had enormous respect for Jerry and Chris, and then just watch your eyes kind of notice it. Yeah. I would have loved that. I can't do it.
Or you could have just said Jerry, Chris, and Bob Kelly and humiliated me too.
Right.
How smart is Jerry, though, that he's the one that got Larry David in the middle of all the comedy boom and all? He was the one that I created a show with Larry David, which was, Larry, you write, and I'll do my acting.
And Larry couldn't get arrested back then. Larry
but to be able to
struggling.
Recognize that, to be able to get that.
Would you sound like you know that Larry did more of the heavy lifting? With
I think
Larry
the
was
stuff that
his show.
He wrote all the...
Seinfeld was all Larry.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I assumed it was...
Oh, you could tell.
Well, I mean, Jerry.
How do we know who Larry is?
It came from Jerry's...
Who asked you?
Oh, sorry. Why don't you shut your mouth?
Yeah,
sorry.
What the fuck?
This is exactly like The View. I'm going to say whenever I'm talking, if someone says, what the fuck are you talking?
Hearing Seinfeld, you said something interesting about how comedy is empathy. And I thought, wow, he's right. And then Seinfeld goes, no, it's not.
No, it's just
and then I was like, fuck, that's actually a good point by Seinfeld.
I don't know. I think it is empathy. I think you have to like someone. I think you have to understand what they're saying. I think everything has to be personified. You can't make jokes about the inanimate. But he was saying you are above the audience.
The what?
About the inanimate.
The inanimate?
Inanimate. Something that
I didn't hear the T at the end.
Oh, right, sorry.
Maybe to laugh at somebody, you have to like them. But, Seinfeld is a weird... He doesn't really fit into... Every comic has something wrong with them that I know. Like, they're sex addicts or drug addicts or gamblers. And with him, I can't figure out what his psychosis or problem
We'll find out after he dies. It'll all come out.
It certainly will. His computer will be open.
Got one. I don't buy that you have to be... You have to, have visibly something wrong with you. I think you have to be aware of your own inadequacies and play on them. But I don't think you have to wear it on your sleeve.
Not necessarily, but every comic I know has something wrong with them. They don't even necessarily. Hold on, I'm having a pissing match here. They don't have to. They don't have to wear it on their sleeve, but they actually all have something.
Seinfeld said you have to be above the audience.
Yeah.
No. He said no.
That's what Bob said.
No. Wait.
Get your coffee. Boom, you get some money.
No, what he was. I was saying that you can't be above the audience. You have to sort of fall over for their pleasure. Right. In a way, you have to put yourself below the audience, show them you've had a worse day than them. Yeah. Funny. He was saying, but you're already above them because you've got the mic. They're all looking at you. You're the only one talking.
Right.
I thought it was. I think
Jerry also, he doesn't look at, I mean, you have this really humane version of comedy, and it comes from sort of like Laurel and Hardy and Chaplin and stuff.
Yeah,
like he's lovable. But Jerry is a technician. He's about the jokes. Jerry looks at comedy like music. Like he used to tell me he was like
he just
playing
like
a horn.
to write
it's dots on paper.
He just likes to he gets off on the material.
What's
he gets off heavily on the material and how he does it. And he is, when I was young, I used to open for Jerry. When I was like 18, 19, I got to open for him in one gig in Boston, and he liked me, so he took me to a bunch. And it was an enormous experience because I kind of didn't think when I was that age, like he wasn't my favorite guy. I liked Stephen Wright, and I liked Carlin and Pryor. And I thought he was good, but I didn't really know of him that much. But watching him do, hour-long shows and theaters, and this is before he had his show. When he was just a top-rank heavyweight comic, watching him do that, the guy is a virtuoso. He is like a great, like Vladimir Horowitz. He's a genius
and he's so
putting on a comedy show. He works so hard for his audience.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but he's almost professorial about it as well. He's got everything worked out.
He's in control. He's very much into being in control, and we identified that too on the show. That like he like when he did my joke about the vacation going around the car.
Yeah,
he did it in this very controlled.
And it was like a
one-line,
wasn't it? It was that rhythm.
That's my vacation.
Well, I was saying that Louis,
when I do it,
he's angry. Yeah. We're laughing at him because he can't get it out. We're laughing at
I'm sweating and I'm sputtering.
I mean, they're there. Yeah. They're all there. They're all sort of disguised and hidden. But we're laughing at a man's breakdown. We're feeling it more viscerally. We're not looking at the dots on paper. And I think that a lot with comedians, when you see the comedians, and they can be great one-liner with the puns, but you feel that you haven't learned about them. You feel that you could read them out yourself and get just as good a laugh.
Well, there's almost no right answer. That's what it's like.
Why would there be?
When you look at Pryor and Carlin, I think they're the two greatest, and they were completely different. Pryor was extraordinarily personal. Carlin told you nothing personal, but was still an observational genius and a social genius. And Pryor was too, but he did it through a person. They both took different vehicles to get to the same place.
Well, also Carlin did bits, and he worked them out. He had really well phrased stuff. And Pryor would just talk. Pryor would just talk and talk, but he would hit beautiful moments that were precise for him.
Yeah.
Carlin said he really turned the corner when he said he used to say, "I'm a comedian that writes his own material," and then he started saying, "I'm a writer who performs his own material," and he realized he was writing essays and he was doing a one-man show in like 4 pieces. Yeah, like a bit about Earth, and he would just do a one-man show.
That's right.
I tried to do that when I started off. It's too hard.
Yeah,
it's too hard. So now I just get bits and I pretend to work them together like that.
You had the best quote in Esquire, and you said, Laurel and Hardy is like the basic root of comedy is Laurel and Hardy. It's never been improved upon. I'd be so much better off if I wasn't with this idiot.
Yeah.
Like you just can't improve that.
No, that's what it's about.
Ever since you said that, they just started showing it like on these bizarre channels, and I watch it and I go, but it's Ricky Gervais.
But it's even deeper than that, because it's like the blind leading the blind. They both think they'd be better off without the other one. And one is more stupid than the other one because he thinks he's cleverer than the other one.
I have nothing to say to you.
It's lovely. It's just lovely. It's just great. And see, Louis, the Louis stand-up, I think, is good because he's really sort of like a threat, because he shambles out like an underdog whose life's falling apart, but then he's really clever. And his targets are all correct. Even though they don't look like they are, they're all correct targets. He goes after...
Like retard in England?
Well, that's what you say about being above it or I'm hung up on the, empathetic. So are you, though. The jokes you make, they're clearly, actually, if they look cruel, they're not. They're not at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think people know that I'm being an asshole.
Of course.
I don't mind people thinking I'm an
Yeah, but they get it. They get it on a subliminal level because they know you can't be.
I don't know anyone that thinks you are.
What's that?
I don't know a single human being that thinks you're an
Oh, there are definitely people.
I don't know anyone.
People,
I've never met anyone.
Not the people that go to your
What
show.
did you say? They go, "Oh, Louis hilarious."
Yeah,
But we're like, if I said it,
but I don't
not have a
mind.
job.
I mean, it's like when I do. There's things I do on my show where I take on certain subjects, and the one way I managed when I'm doing something that's kind of controversial, what I do is I make sure that I lose. That in the story,
but whenever you're angry,
you're the rape victim.
Yes, exactly. If we're doing rape, I'm getting raped.
Smell the glove.
And you're fighting an unreasonable world. You're always fighting an unreasonable world. You're fighting with what, the hand you would doubt. And also, I like the fact you also start off, and I don't know if you do this consciously or not, but people like you because you're bringing up 2 little girls. So they know whatever you're doing, you're bringing up 2 little girls. And I think and I think people have got to like you. As an example, the Marx Brothers, right? They're the biggest things in Vaudeville.
You don't have children, right?
No. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the means. The Marx Brothers, funny, everyone loved them doing stuff, right? They transferred to films, and it's sort of exhausting, okay? It's too long to be doing zany stuff. So the eventual producer-director of the best films, they came to said, listen, I can make you, so much bigger. And he said, we're putting a musical number, and we're putting a love story. So now, it's these idiots, right? But they're being idiotic and running around because they're trying to get 2 lovers together. So now everyone wants them to win because they're doing something worthwhile with their stupidity and their...
You know what, though? I hate those Marx Brothers movies. I like the earlier ones when they're just being nuts. When
I
they're
got to
just
agree with Louis on this because he won the award last night.
Strange. When they do that, and it's. I think I'm in the minority.
It's an award-winning opinion.
That's right. It is. I was given an award for having this opinion.
I think it's for humanity again because Groucho is always the underdog. Even though he thinks he's cleverer than that guy, he's getting conned. He looks No,
that's what they were like. But when they put in the couples and had them sing to each other, and the Marx Brothers became like a B story, those love stories were synthetic, bad Hollywood love stories,
as opposed to the Marx Brothers act.
The great Marx Brothers movies like Animal Crackers that were just crazy stories that made no sense. But that were driven by this great comedy.
But you need adhesion because it's exhausting. Even like you can come out and I can watch you for an hour telling me a story. That's the human aspect. You can tell a story and I can watch you for an hour, right? If you come out and you do the best 1,000 one-liners, I'm looking at my watch after 20 minutes.
Yeah, when you purify comedy into just a fastball, but
I think that
there are guys. I think it's just everybody's just different. You can't, there's some people who are empathetic and personal, and there's other people who just got the jokes. Like
No Filter, his album's going to be Everybody's Just Different.
Everybody's just different.
Yeah, but the same underneath. If you turn it over. And it's just him leaning on his hands.
Leaning on his hands.
Put the same underneath. That'll be the album. Everybody's just different, and I'm wearing like a leather jacket with the collar up, like Dennis Leary in the '80s, and then on the other side, but the same underneath, folded hands.
I'll get you to tell some of the stories you told on Talking Funny, but that would ruin it.
Something's changed when you get older, Like I've reallocated some of the noises that I make. Like the noise I used to make when I come is now the noise I make when I pee.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Take it all.
Very disrespectful to my toilet. Unfortunately, yeah, you like that, don't you? I'm gonna in your mouth too, cause you ain't nothing but a eating, piss drinking tellet. Dumb tellet. Got my piss on your lips. You ain't intelligent. What do? You sit there all day on your ass, waiting for me to in your face. Dumb tell it. You ain't even special. I pissed in 3 toilets today. Quit crying. I love you. It's bad. But that's how my dad treated his toilet, so that's where I learned it. Anyway, that's the noise I make when I pee. Some of you might be wondering, none of you are wondering, what noise do I make when I come? Okay, so this is the noise I make when I come. It's not that special. I just go like this. It is done! It's a whole thing with a cloud with funnels of... There are crows come and there's lightning. The circle is complete! And there's a little witch floating with white eyes. And a child will be born, and then... I don't know, it's kind of intense. And some kid throws a lightning bolt at me, and I go, and I go to sleep for 1,000 years. I was on a plane once, and I was flying first class because I had a thing. I fly first class. Who cares? Just, that's the way it is. I'm not like you. I'm not. All the things you do, I do a better version of all those things. And it's only for another year at the most, believe me. It's not gonna last. It's been about 8 months. I got a year left, and then I'm back to being just like you. But for now, it's pretty good. So, I'm in a first class seat, and first class is so crazily better. It's so much better. You get a bigger seat, you get food, but also you get to sit, and first, you get to sit before anybody else does. They sit you down, and you get to just sit there with champagne and watch all the sweaty, just miserable, all the single moms hefting their stroller and the kid. And you're like, oh, that looks heavy and nobody's helping you. That's a drag. And you get to just... Anyway, so I was on a plane, I'm first class, and a soldier gets on a plane. I see soldiers fly all the time, because that's how they get to the war. If they fly on a shitty airline, you think they get to go in a cool green plane with a red light and go, go, go! No, they just go to Delta, and they just wait in line to go to a war. And they always fly coach. I've never seen a soldier in first class in my life. It could be a full bird colonel, he's between two fat guys in coach. And they're always nice. I've never seen a soldier get on a plane like, hey, I'm in the army. You. I have a gun. They're always like, oh, yes, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am. It's like having an extra flight attendant. They help everybody put their up. They're awesome. And every time that I see a soldier on a plane, I always think, you know what? I should give him my seat. It would be the right thing to do. It would be easy to do, and it would mean a lot to him. I could go up to him, hey, son. I get to call him son. Hey, son, go ahead and take my seat. Because I'm in first class, why? For being a professional. I'm in first class because I talk about babies with big. That's what got me my seat. This guy is giving his life for the country, he thinks, and so he has to sit. But that's good enough. That's good enough. The fact that he thinks it. I'm serious. Told by everybody in his life system that that's a great thing to do, and he's doing it. And it's scary, but he's doing it, and he's sitting in this seat, and I should trade with him. I never have. Let me make that clear. I've never done it once. I've had so many opportunities. I never even really seriously came close. And here's the worst part. I still just enjoyed the fantasy for myself to enjoy. I was actually proud of myself for having thought of it. I was proud. Oh, I am such a sweet man. That is so nice of me to think of doing that and then totally never do it.
I think it's a compact humans have always made. we want to be able to laugh about stuff that's upsetting us. It's part of it. And then everybody gets upset sometimes, and they all go, how could we make such jokes? This is a terrible thing. But in the end, we always choose the humor. That's why comedy's always stayed in there. Once in a while, everybody says, this is wrong to talk about these things, and you shouldn't joke about bad things or hurting things. And we all clang a bell because that's part of the process. And I accept that. That's okay that people do that because it's part of it. You say that to yourself once in a while because it lets you off the hook. I tweeted to everybody that I thought that joke was inappropriate. And then later you can laugh at a joke that's inappropriate. You know, I mean, that way you get to have both ways.
But are there places you will not go?
Only if it's not funny or if it's boring.
But that's it.
Yeah, or somebody else has been there heavily, then I won't go there usually because it's boring. Yeah, no, it's only if it's boring. But I don't. I remember saying one time that saying that a joke is too awful, saying that something is too terrible to joke about, is like saying that a disease is too terrible to try to cure it. I mean, that's what you do with awful things. You joke about them. That's how you get through it. It's how you survive life.
That's the only way you can talk.
Yeah, so to say that's so terrible, I can't joke about it, that's totally counterintuitive to me. It's like, if it's that awful, you better start joking about it. Because that's how human beings get through it. Look, I think Trump is more from my world than he is from politics. You know, he's one of us. He's a showbiz guy.
He's an entertainer.
He's an entertainer. So I feel like we're responsible for him.
Yeah, but you know what I hear? I hear this making his way into your routine.
I don't think so. I think I think I said everything I need to say about Donald Trump. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's where I felt a little bit bad because a lot of people got mad at me and they said, just shut up. Just shut your mouth. Don't tell me. You know, a lot of times when you say, don't tell me what to think, right? I'm not telling anybody what to think. I'm expressing myself during an election year.
You're telling them what you think.
Yeah, that's right. But I did come into their lives through the funny ha-ha door, and then I took a big political serious on their table. So I get being irritated. I get it. I get why people would be irritated with my having written that. It's not what I do best. It's not what I'm known for. It's not what I'm asked about. You know what I mean? I mean, if you invited somebody to your house because you knew they were really funny and fun, and then they just said all this stuff, you'd be like, what are you doing to me? So I get why people got irritated. It's interesting to me, a lot of liberals got mad because I suggested that maybe conservatives and liberals have equal value and that they should each have a shot at running the government.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way that I was raised. I came from Mexico. When I was a little kid, I lived in Mexico. Right. And I remember coming to America and discovering it as a little boy from another country. And the idea of democracy and free speech was just an incredible thing to me. And it's still, I look at it with wide open eyes. I'm very innocent that way. And the way I look at the world is that I feel a certain way about how the country should be run, but not everybody feels the way I do. So when there's enough of me to push the election over to our side, we get a president for a while. Yeah. But the other side, who feels differently than I do, they should get an equal shot. Because it's not all my country, it's a lot of people's country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course I do.
So democracy shouldn't, some people think democracy means I always get things the way I want them. Well, I don't look at it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, democracy means sometimes I'm really frustrated with the way the government works. Then I know it's working right. That's the way I look at it, and I'm in my 40s, and so to me, Obama's a liberal. He's a liberal president. To some people, he's a huge conservative. It depends on how you look at it. Everybody looks at it differently. But I don't think Trump is any of these things. I think Trump is a guy who will dismantle the actual process. That's the only reason I said something. I'm not known for making political statements. I've never done this before. I have no track record of running my mouth politically.
Will you do it again?
No, I probably won't. But the reason I did in this case was because this isn't about I believe in the liberal cause and I want a liberal. It was because this guy feels like he could chuck it all away, and he's even saying he wants to. He's saying he wants to make it that you can sue people for writing something you didn't like. Yeah. You know, it's insane. So anyway, I shouldn't have said even what I said now, but
but you did.
I shouldn't have written it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You don't mean that.
No, not at all. No.
I hate New York. I really do. I used to love New York, but I hate it now. I'd rather be in Auschwitz than New York City. Honestly, I would. I mean Auschwitz now. I mean today Auschwitz, not back when it was open. I mean now. It's nice now. There's a gift shop. People go there on purpose. They buy tickets. I think that's weird. That people buy tickets to Auschwitz. That's weird. If you could have told those people back then, people are going to buy tickets to come here. Yeah, wrap your head around that. Jew. That's... All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, never again, I promise. That's what we say about the Holocaust, never again. Because they killed 6 million Jews. If they only killed like 10,000, would it be like, okay, 2 more times? And then taper off, because it's a little much. I'll tell you, I went to Auschwitz. This is a true story. I actually did go to Auschwitz because I was doing shows in Poland. Because I had to go to Poland to do shows. So I was in Krakow. So I went to the camp. And I went there because of a very personal reason. Because I had family there. I had a lot of family there. 44 members of my family were in Auschwitz during World War II. I mean, they were guards. They worked there. No. They were Jews and they died. It's okay. Don't be offended. It's true. We lost the whole family there. Everybody, because we were Hungarian Jews. My grandfather, on my father's side, he's the only one who made it. The rest of them, all 44 of them, went to Auschwitz, which I think they really regretted. But that's what happened, because the Hungarians sent all their Jews to... They weren't even occupied Hungary. They're just like, yeah, take our Jews. And they sent my whole family there, and they all died in Auschwitz, except for him. My grandfather's the only one who made it, because he got the f*** out of there before it started. In the late 20s, he smelled that shit, and he got the f*** out. And he went to Mexico. He migrated to Mexico. And we found his immigration card. My uncle and I did the family history, and we found it. It says nationality, Hungarian, and it says religion, Catholic. And there's a picture of him like... He's like, fuck it, they don't know what a Jew looks like in Mexico. That's where I'm going. And that's why I'm alive, because he made that choice. It's also why I'm not Jewish. He was like, Jew schmoo, we're not Jewish. Somos católicas. That was my abuelito. Became a Mexican fast. That's what happened. That's how he made it. He's a fascinating guy, my grandfather. His name was Geza. That was his name. And he had a brother named Geza. It's weird, but I looked it up, and here's what happened. His parents had a baby, and they named it Geza, and it died. The baby died. So they had another one, and they just said, it, Geza, let's just do it again. Because that's what it was like. The babies died. It was no big deal back then. It was just like, yeah, that was a shitty baby. Let's do another one. Why'd your baby die? Because it sucked. Why does any baby die? At least we found out quick. It. This one's good. That's what it was like forever until recently. The human race was all the good babies, and the shitty ones, that's just the way it worked. It's not like that now. Now we save every baby. The bigger the baby, the bigger the effort. Because we love it. We love saving the shitty babies. There's always a documentary. Look at this baby. He's a mess. Do you see that? We're going to save it. Make it live. And the baby's like, please don't. But we don't like when babies die. We get more upset when a baby dies. Why? Who knows this baby? Did you hear about Jeff? No, he was here for 1 day. Nobody met him. And then if you die when you're old, nobody gives a shit. They're like, he was here long enough. F*** him. You ever tell somebody, like, your grandmother died? My grandmother died. You're like, I'm so sorry. How old was she? She was 98. Oh. So why'd you even tell me? Putney Swope was a movie that really inspired me. It's a movie by Robert Downey. Robert Downey Jr.'s dad made a movie called Putney Swope that makes no sense.
And I watched it and I thought, you can do that. You can make a movie and not have it add up to anything.
Slow! You don't have to accept.
From now on, the name of this agency is Truth and Soul.
And I just believed because it was done, because there was a VHS tape of it, I believed that meant you could do that. So I started working that way, and it hurt me a little. Because people like their stories.
By advertising toy guns, you're encouraging kids to enjoy violence.
I was with you when we went to Blockbuster, and you got that copy
Putney Swope.
of Putney Swope.
Yeah.
It was in a bargain bin.
That's really funny that you tell me that because I remember it. Yeah, because I just bought a VCR for the first time.
Right, and we were just going to rent a movie.
I can't rent movies because I didn't have a credit card at the time.
So you bought them.
I bought, and it was the only thing that was for sale that wasn't like a Barney video or something.
And I remember you didn't know what it was.
No idea.
I didn't know what the fuck it was, and it changed your entire perception of movie making.
Yeah, it did. Putney Swope by Robert Downey. It just made me think you can do anything you want, even if it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
What I didn't understand was that just because Putney Swope existed in a shrink-wrap box, it doesn't mean that you can go do that.
Right.
I mean, I just thought any movie that got made and that has a package is like a lamp in the distance.
Yeah,
I can do that too.
Yeah.
But, it's not okay. But I'm really glad that was my first big inspiration.
Isn't that weird, though?
Yeah, you were there. It's funny because I was telling somebody this story recently about getting Putney Swope.
Yeah.
And I
remember
forgot you were there.
I'm not raising my kids religiously because I don't feel like it. Just get up on a Sunday. F that. F that. Let your souls rot, kids. I don't care. I'm not getting... Daddy, who... But my kids, they're living in the world, and there's a lot of religion in the world, so you do have to teach your kids, if you're not raising them religiously, you do have to teach them about religion, I always tell my kids the same thing. I tell them that there are many religions in the world, and they're all equal, but the Christians are the main one. That's what I tell them. The Christians won. They're the winners, so act accordingly. Congratulate Christians when you meet them. Because they won the world. And it's true. It's true. We love to tell ourselves like that every religion is exactly... No, they're not. The Christians won everything a long time ago. If you don't believe me, let me ask you a question. What year is it? I mean, come on. What year is it? According to the entire human race. And why? What year is it? Anybody, sir, just yell out the year. Thank you. 2016. No, it's 20. That's right. It's 2017. What is that? That's a important number. Because we're counting to it in unison as a species. For thousands of years, we've been going 1, 2, 3, come on everybody, 4, and now come on Africa, 5, 6. What is this number? We're counting the days since what? Since there was ever people, or since the sun did a something? Not at all. It's been 2017 years since what? Anybody, yell it out. Yes, Christ! Christ! That's right. It's been 2017 years since Christ Jesus. We are counting the days since Jesus together. Which makes sense if you're Christian, but what the f*** are the rest of us doing? Jesus was here. Everybody, scientists, historians, Jesus. Jesus. Jesus plus 2. Jesus plus 3. Jesus plus 4. Jesus plus 2017 years, 4 months, and 3 days is when your license expires. How is that not a win for the Christians? How is that not a complete win? That's not a Monday off in October. That's there was no time before Jesus. And the whole world's like, okay, sure. And then somebody was like, what about the years before him? There were billions, I mean, infinity. Those go backwards. You want us to measure most of history backwards? To accommodate one religion? Uh-huh. All right, we'll do it. It's fine. We'll do it. You watch New Year's Eve around the world. They always show you like how every country celebrates. It's kind of cool. The first is one little island. It's the first place that's actually the place that it's the year. It's a little island in the Pacific. I forget what it's called, but the people, they do a little ceremony for New Year's Eve every year, and they just wear grass because they don't even have sticks yet. They're in the grass age. They have no clocks, but they do a dance. 2017. And it goes around the world. Oh, it's a 2017. Death to all Christians in 2017. The Jews are quietly keeping track. It's really 5,766, but that's for us. We're just, that's okay. We're just keeping track for when you snap out of it. It's all right. I'll write yours on my check. I don't want a problem. What about Chinese New Year? Yeah, what about Chinese? All right. Next time you're doing your taxes, just write monkey where the year goes. Just put monkey. See what happens to your funds. No, it's 2017, year of our Lord. Jesus-y, a clock on the nose. And they made it up. That's the weirdest part, is they got to rename years that had already taken place. Because you know that's not what those years were. You know that, right? That the year 3 wasn't the year 3 during the year 3. Nobody was walking around back then. Hey, what year is it? It's 3. Yeah, but I'm 28. How can I be 28? There's only been 3. Oh, well, see, you were born in BC 24, and there's a 0. Remember it went backwards? Oh, shit, that was stressful. I hated those years. What was that like? What year is it? 10. So I don't know what to tell my kids.
What the dude?
Louis a weirdo on his show.
You think he's a weirdo?
He's a weirdo in real life.
I know. Yeah,
What?
but that character on the TV show is a weird guy.
You think?
It's a weirdo. Yeah.
Louis a weirdo.
Weirdo. I love that word.
I don't like that I can relate to him, man.
He's a weirdo.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, I'm a weirdo.
What did he say
Did the
about...
motorcycle episode air? E-Rock? Was that the first episode?
I probably did, because I think 4 episodes are already gone, so...
And now we could talk about the fact that his ex-wife is black out of nowhere, even though his kids are white. No one wants to talk about this?
I haven't seen it. Yeah. I think we did, didn't we?
No, we
mention it
didn't
here?
talk about it because no one saw the episodes yet. That was one of our
we
spoilers.
Did spill the beans.
In season 3, he's talking to his ex-wife. She's on the phone as Louis is having conversations, and she's black.
Interesting.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Well, that's why I want him in here. I want to talk to him about this stuff. I also want to talk to him about the motorcycle episode because he filmed all over New York on a motorcycle. I want to know how hard that is to do. How do you do that?
Very hard to get like permission.
And then you got to get some people off the road for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Louis will be in soon, I'm sure.
Louis.
But he was on The Daily Show last night defending Daniel Tosh, and he had a great angle on this whole thing.
I want to hear this.
And so I was in Vermont, and I was watching TV in a hotel room, and Daniel Tosh's show comes on, Tosh.0, and it's making me laugh. It's a funny show. So I wasn't reading the internet at the time because that's how I go on vacation. I really hate the internet, so I just stopped reading it. But I'm watching TV, and Tosh is making me laugh. So I wrote a tweet saying, your show makes me laugh. And then I put it down, and then like 2 days later I come home and I read these like bloggers and like Hollywood Reporter, Louis C.K. defends Daniel Tosh amid rape joke controversy. I had no idea. He got in trouble for making some jokes about rape.
Whoa, wait a minute. So when he tweeted, he had no idea what was going on? He was just commenting on the show?
That's what he said.
Because I read that tweet, and I just assumed he was sticking up for Daniel Tosh.
Like, hey, I saw your show. Really funny.
Can we find that tweet from Louis C.K.?
He puts the tweet right in the middle of the controversy.
Right, all hell's breaking loose, and he just happens to be... I did not know this. He got me, too. Go to Louis' Twitter. So he's on vacation. He turns off the internet. He has no idea that Daniel Tosh did the rape thing, and he's watching the show.
Yeah.
Okay, and said, oh, this guy's funny, or this show's funny, and he tweeted about it. That's great. You got it?
No, it's gone.
What do you mean it's gone?
It's gone.
Well, it goes back a while, probably.
This is June 27th, before the controversy.
Damn.
Do you take it down?
It's gone.
I wonder what that's all about.
Maybe he explained it.
Sam, comment.
Oh. Yeah, maybe he does explain
You're up, comment.
For making some jokes about rape, and I didn't know about it. And so I'm a defender of rape. That's what everybody says now. And I've read all this stuff like, shame on you, Louis C.K., and I'll never watch your show. You're a rape apologist. I've been called a rape apologist because I said hi to a guy.
Wow. Yeah, I was tricked by that, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I saw that tweet.
Yeah, I thought he was defending him.
Yeah, I did, too. And
which is fine.
And, in his way.
Defend the guy.
This is like a fight between comedians and bloggers, that's where all just hyperbole and garbage comes out of those two places.
Sure.
It's
they are
also
very similar groups.
Yes. Just uneducated, unfettered, just
say whatever pops into your head, like
yeah.
And you do it for hummus.
It's also a fight between comedians and feminists, which are natural enemies, the biggest, easily, because stereotypically speaking, feminists can't take a joke, and stereotypically speaking, and comedians, see, and comedians. And on the other side,
I'm gonna have a chopper for you to send you back to Vermont right after the show.
On the other side, comedians can't take criticism. Comedians are big pussies.
Yeah.
And they can't. So to one side, you say, if you don't like the jokes, stay out of the comedy clubs. To the other side, you say, if you don't like the criticism, stop Googling yourself every 10 seconds. Just nobody's making you read it. It's positive. To me, it's all dialogue is positive.
Wow.
That's good shit, man.
Yeah. Good shit right there, right?
Yeah. You know what it is? A lot of comics were saying stuff about it, and they were the ones that made the most sense. Mm-hmm. I know, a lot of people think, oh, they have an interest in it and stuff for their own line of work. But they were the ones that actually were making sense. The people that were pissed at it, just talking out of pure emotion and sound like
What was Gilbert Gottfried's angle? He had an article yesterday.
Oh, he did?
I didn't read it. I heard it was good.
Yeah, he was tweeting it like crazy. He was very proud of it.
Well, I don't go for his humor either with the whole getting fired from the duck voice for that whole Japanese thing.
Oh, I didn't go for that where the water went all over the people's feet and shoes. I didn't like that.
It's a lot of work having kids, especially now, as opposed to the past. Because in the past, you just had your kids and they just did their thing and you did your thing. That's what it was like for me. I'm amazed at that now. Because I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. My oldest daughter is 8 years old. And when I was 8, my mother, she would go to work and I'd go to school. We were like roommates. There was no... She'd just go, see you later. Maybe I'll have a child when I get home from work. I don't know. I would go to school, and then I would just wander around town. And I would do weird shit. I used to go to the store and steal tampons. I got in this weird thing where I stole tampons every day. And I never got caught. I mean, the guy probably saw me, but he's like, I'm not confronting the kid who steals tampons. I did a lot of weird shit when I was a kid. I showed my penis to a girl with Down syndrome that lived down the street. I did that. Go ahead and judge me. I was 9. I mean, I'm still the guy who did it, but I was a kid. I just really wanted a girl to look at my penis. I wanted to have that moment. And I was too afraid to ask any girls that didn't have Down syndrome. Basically, because girls in my town scared me. They smoked parliaments and had feathered hair and leather jacket. You fucking queer! They were tough. But she was approachable. I met her behind Kentucky Fried Chicken by a dumpster, and she was just nice. It's a true story. And I asked her, I didn't just go, hey, look at my dick. I asked her, can I show you my penis? And she's like, fine. And I took it out, and we're both standing there, and she's looking at me like, dude, you think you're the first person to do this? I've seen every in this town. Just put it away. That's what it was like when I was a kid. I mean, not for everybody. Not every single. Oh, sure, we all showed our to people.
It's got to be when I used to watch these guys on the Tonight Show, like a Garry. Did you know Garry Shandling?
Sure, he was my buddy. Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Were you one of the guys who goes and played basketball?
No,
at the
I never
house?
did that, but every time Garry owned a boxing gym with Peter Berg in Santa Monica, so every time I went to L.A., I would meet Garry there, and we would box together, and then go have lunch and talk.
Was Garry a good athlete, Garry Shandling?
He cared about it, and he stayed in good shape. Yeah.
And when you would box him, he had the height advantage, right? He's taller than you.
No, I don't think I don't feel like he was taller.
Why do I feel like he was a tall
No.
guy? How tall are you? 6'ish? You're 6,
Yeah.
and he is the same.
I think so.
Because the last time I saw him was at Jimmy's. Were you there at Jimmy's house when Garry was there?
Maybe years and years ago.
Yeah, and I don't know, but I remember thinking, Gary's a lot taller than I remember him. But so you were close with the guy. Shocking that he just kind of died.
Yeah,
Did you know he was ill?
His health was a little. There's something going on with him. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I was totally shocked. It was very upsetting.
Yeah.
He's a great, really smart guy, super funny and super nice, thoughtful.
I obviously loved the Larry Sanders Show, as everyone did.
Greatest.
But his stand-up on the Tonight Show was always strong.
He was one of the best ever to do that. I mean, he had the shot to take it over back when everybody was jockeying. He could have had it. And
he didn't want it.
He said, I'd rather pretend I have that job, which is what Larry Sanders was.
And that was breakthrough television.
I showed it to my 14-year-old daughter the other day. Right after he died, I showed her, this is my friend who just died, and I showed her the first episode of Larry Sanders, and she was howling. She loved it. It holds up.
Every character was great. Hey Now. All of it. I mean, I just love it.
Yeah.
And Garry was actually really nice to me. He was a very generous guy. I needed a guest for the first time I ever had an television show, and he agreed to do it, which nobody wanted to do it. I mean, they didn't want to.
Yeah, was this a test show?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a test show, but it was going to air. But it was nice of him to come, and it wasn't clear what we were going to be doing.
Right.
And then I actually got to be on the Larry Sanders Show, which was
I remember.
Yeah,
that was really funny.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really saddened to see that he was gone. Was he one of those guys that you would run material by ever and say, hey, I'm looking for a punchline?
We talked about comedy, but not in terms of jokes. We talked about what it felt like. He was he's one of those guys who he went through so much. He's way ahead, he's a mentor, and he was very generous with sharing with me what it felt like to get the Tonight Show the first time and all the breaks that he had.
Yeah.
There is this trip you go down as a stand-up when you do well that is very rare. There's only a few people that have gone that far.
Right.
So when you get a guy like that to share with you what it felt like, and
I'm
it
shocked.
was a huge thing.
When he decided to become a stand-up comedian, it was a very short amount of time that he got the tap on the shoulder from Johnny Carson's Talent Scouts. I mean, it was like maybe within a year.
Yeah, it was very soon into his,
And
he was great. He was great.
He was a genius.
And he was also classic. He had this big smile. He was like a cartoon,
And self-effacing.
That's right.
He understood that he wasn't a ladies' man, and then he talked about dating, and we all related to it, right?
That's right.
Yeah, no, he was great.
But he also had this face that was kind of like expressive, you know,
Yeah.
like he had this look,
Yeah, it
like
was
you saw
rubbery.
the pain.
I mean, I might be wrong on this, but like you used the Shandling quote
Yeah.
in the one episode.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure had partly to do with the fact that he had just passed away and you wanted to pay tribute to him.
Everything to do, yeah.
But it also kind of, I thought that seemed to be what the show was
It
about,
had
at least
something
a
to do
little
with the
bit.
show.
That the show's kind of about like silences, right?
Yes, and the
silence versus conversation.
Yeah.
Is that a misread? That was Tate's big suggestion.
No, that was right. I think that, I mean...
After you broke Tate.
Well, Garry and I were friends.
Yeah.
And he wrote that to me in an email. It wasn't like a quote
Oh,
I
that
pulled
wasn't
from
like
his,
from his stand-up?
No, it's something he
Really?
said to me in an email about 2 weeks before he died. He wrote that to me.
Was there a reason behind it?
Yeah, he wrote to me about, and I don't really want to, I don't want to go into this thing because it was such a stupid episode, but when I wrote an email about Donald Trump to my fans and it kind of exploded a little more than I expected it to. And Garry wrote to me and sort of made fun of me about the email, and I wrote back and forth, and I was a little distressed that I got more attention from it than I wanted to.
Yeah.
And we started to write back and forth just about life and stuff, and then he wrote that to me, amongst other things. And I went through this email that he had written to me, and it was so full of very moving. And he was a very deep person. All the time I ever spent with Garry, we would just talk and talk for hours, and then I always felt like we didn't get anything. We didn't have enough time. You know what I mean? But so he wrote me that email, and I found about 10 things that applied to the show, applied to life, applied to him passing, and how I felt about it. And so I threw it on the end there.
He's such a curious guy. I only spent one extended stretch with him, but he's one of those guys you just could have talked to for 12 hours. Like, he would have been a great guy to drive cross country with.
That's right.
You just like stop.
No, that's
and
what I
he's
loved. He owned a boxing gym.
Yeah.
On the West Side with Peter
Berg.
Berg, Wild Card West, they called it.
Yeah.
And I worked out there with him a bunch of times. I would come to town and I'd write him and say, can we work out today? So we would go and he would get a young trainer, and we would work in tandem with the trainer. One of us would hit the pads, and then the other one would, and then vomit while the other one hit the pads. Like we're both around the same age and shape. And then after training, we would go have lunch, and sometimes we would just walk in one direction for hours and just talk, and then walk back to the car and just leave. And my friendship to him came a little late. I didn't really know Garry until, like, I don't know, two years ago or something, 3 years ago. But it became a real constant for me. He was very generous with talking about the road from nothing to success, which he had an amazing run.
Yeah.
And he shared a lot about what goes on inside the inner workings of a person during those kind of big changes. So he was a great friend, He wrote me a month before he died. He was in Hawaii, and I don't know what was going on with him health-wise, but he was convalescing from something or whatever. But he wrote me something about wasting. He wrote me this thing saying that wasting time is part of being creative. That's what he said. He said that, and he sent me some chapter of a book. I forget what it is, but about that being true. It was something about how Einstein used to like sit around and just do dumb things before he then went and figured everything out. But he said wasting time is part of being creative. That was the message to his email. And at the end, he said, I don't know how much time I can keep wasting because I'm certainly not a teenager anymore. Like how much time I have left to waste, maybe 3-4 weeks or something like that, which ended up being exactly how long he made it. But anyway, so yeah, that quote, that he had died only a couple of days before, and I was posting the show, and so I called my editor and asked her to throw it on the end there.
Did he ever give you feedback on the Louis show?
No, I never asked him about it. Although he read the first 2 episodes of Horace and Pete before I started making it, and he really loved it. His actually the way that he loved it gave me a lot of juice to keep writing, because at that point I was just writing scripts and I didn't know if they were any good,
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Top every time.
There's a quote from Garry Shandling: "The world is just too noisy and distracted to probably ultimately survive. Everyone needs to shut the f*** up. The answers are in the silence. Monks set themselves on fire to make this point. Just consider it." What does that quote mean to you?
Well, Garry wrote that to me in an email.
I know.
And he wrote that to me a few weeks before he died.
Just a few weeks?
Yeah, maybe a couple of weeks before he died. And
unexpectedly.
He was a great friend, and he was the kind of guy I could talk to him for hours, and then we never had enough time. Like, we talked for 4 hours, and my mouth would get all dry talking to Garry, and I would get like a headache because I wouldn't want to drink water or do anything to stop talking to him. And then it'd be over, you know, we'd have to part company, so.
I always thought about him. He came to my show. I always thought about him as, God, I wish he was doing something right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That good, and you just
he was one of the best ever.
I know.
Yeah, one of the greats.
And why the hell is he? You would ask yourself.
Yeah. Well, he gave a lot. He gave a lot of great stand-up, and his series was a lot of TV has been built on the back of that series.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember that.
And he was terrific even when he substituted for Carson.
That's right. I showed the first episode of Larry Sanders to my 14-year-old daughter after he died, and she loved it. And it was fresh, you know. And she watches like 30 Rock and new shows, and this show it's right up against them, and it begat them, you know.